Yes, in many situations when we are basically asked to do stuff, and most of the time we are the ones always doing the bigger portion or being dedicated or committed and always actually just putting in the effort. When it's a teamwork, basically, I'm referring to teamwork, and you are the one doing all what I said, and then the other person is basically just lazing around all the time or just not putting in the effort as much as you tend to complain a lot. You tend to complain a lot, you tend to talk a lot. Work, do not complain. Not necessarily not necessarily in the sense that do not give any complaint at all. Complaints are good, but it depends on how you do it. It's better to give feedback than to complain. So have constructive complaints. Your complaints should be constructive, or else you are just being arrogant and annoying and yeah, you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so let me give a scenario. Let's say you visit a friend.
Mhm.
Okay, you've been on a long journey, you visit a friend, the sun is out, it's very hot. Your friend serves you with water and the water isn't cold. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So there's water in the glass and it's not cold. Instead of just taking the water and being like, but you are you okay? Are you normal? Why would you give me warm water on a very hot day? You can just actually say, oh, thank you very much, but I would actually like it more if you add some ice into the water.
Yeah, basically.
You've done the same thing, but you did it in two different ways. Instead of complaining and asking him whether he's normal or he's sane for giving you warm water on a very hot day, you've literally appreciated the fact that he was able to offer you something, and you've also requested. You put in a request, so it's also a different form of complaint, but then in a nicer way, and that's more appealing to the person's emotions, and it's actually showing appreciation to the person for actually trying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You see, because you used a friend as an example, let me kind of rephrase what you said. It's
Okay.
correct, but then I want to rephrase so people do not get it wrongly. You know, this is the case where you have been to a friend, with your example, you have been to a friend's place.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, okay, so let me rephrase what you said. Basically, he's trying to say, not necessarily you being rude, directly rude to a friend that you have gone to visit. But then let me put it this way for you. Imagine you go to a friend's, okay, no, imagine you live with a friend at home,
Mm-hmm.
and so the friend is pitching, and because the friend is pitching in your house, it's kind of like he kind of like
Owes
serves
you,
you
yeah.
kind of, in that kind of in that way. So maybe you come back from work so tired and he's always at home, and then he offers you water, maybe a glass of water, and maybe all the time you correct him that you do not want warm water, you want cold water, but then he keeps bringing you warm water. So in this case, do not just do not
Lash out.
do not just lash out, do not complain in a in
Rude
an
way.
in an is it inconstructive or unconstructive way?
Unconstructive.
Unconstructive way. Tell him kindly, in a kind manner, that thank you for bringing me the water, but then I'd appreciate it if you actually added cubes
Yeah.
to it.
Ice cubes.
Yes. If you actually added ice cubes to it. So that's the case where you are giving him a feedback of what you want,
Yeah.
but then you're doing it in a constructive way, in a kind way.
Not to hurt his emotions or his
Yes,
feelings.
because when you are giving complaints or feedback, no, when you're giving constructive complaints or feedback, you have to think of the other people's feelings, the
Yeah.
other people's have you have to have
Have in
thoughts
account.
concerning
Yeah.
those on the other side, like the
Yeah.
other party. So do it in a constructive way. Criticize constructively. Yes, because complaints are only good when they are given as feedbacks,
Yeah.
when they are constructive. That is because they bring updates, they help things to develop and improve. That is why even in today's world, when we have phones, we have, let's take iPhone for instance. It
Okay.
didn't just start with iPhone 13. It started from with
What a
iPhone whatever number to XR to 7 plus to blah 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 blah. Now it's at what 16 Pro Max or 16. It's probably because people were definitely giving feedback
yeah.
as to how this one is working, the kind of apps, the space, you know, as you
How
know,
they were
the
telling them how to
iPhones,
improve
yeah,
them.
you know, the iPhones, each has its own space, storage space.
Yeah.
Like with iPhone 16, it might have, I'm just giving an example, it might have 325 gigabytes, and then maybe iPhone XR has just 64 gigabytes.
One
So
terabyte.
people actually gave feedback that the phone is a good phone, but then it has a little space on it.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the case where they used that constructive
Complain.
complaint to build up and to improve. And
Yeah.
now we have iPhones with 124 gigabytes and so on and so forth. You get the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. So basically, it's just like Bill Gates always says he actually loves getting
Complain.
complaints like the feedback because it
Yeah.
helps him to improve and
On
develop
yeah.
and all that. So basically it's good to complain, but then do it constructively. Do it in a kind manner, not just talking so much
Don't
or
lash out.
lashing out.
Yeah.
Yes, because you can give complaints, but then they should just be constructive and yes, basically.
Yeah. And your complaint shouldn't be of you wanting to quit, but then you wanting to create a better working situation for yourself.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it doesn't, the fact that someone is not working hard doesn't mean you should just lash out or
Yeah.
decide to quit. You
Sometimes
should
it
be able to
helps.
give feedback.
Sometimes it helps because sometimes maybe those in the higher ups won't be listening. So that's why people have, peaceful protest or they walk
Exactly.
out.
Okay, yeah.
That one is a different case. But then if you, one individual, decides just to stop because everybody is not putting in the work,
Yeah.
it might work sometimes, but it's not going to work all the time.
But the best thing to do is to give feedback,
Yes, to give
not to just
feedback,
lash
not to
out.
just lash out.
And I was going to say something. Oh my god, excuse me. Yes, I remember when you give complaints. Let's say you have a boss, and then you go to him and complain that you do not appreciate the work you do. Like you're not. It's like you're not showing that you actually appreciate it. Basically, maybe I'm working with you, and then you're not putting in as much effort as I am. And I go to the boss and I'm just complaining that I'm the one doing all the work. I don't get paid enough. I'm doing blah 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 blah. This person is not even working and you're paying him the same amount as me. That kind of complaint. The boss will even see you as arrogant and proud. Like it's like you do not appreciate what you are even getting. So instead of doing it that way, find a better way to do it. So criticize and complain constructively rather than complain in a way that seems arrogant or proud.
So basically, go to him and be like, "Oh, sir, though the work is doing this and this and that,
Like everything is going well,
everything
but
is
then
going well, but
this
then
particular person is
yeah,
not
I feel
doing
he's
that
not
and that.
doing or he's not
Exactly.
doing it to the full to his fullest capacity. So can
Yes.
you have a
And it's like
conversation
a
with him?
lot of work is on me now.
Yeah,
Just find a way to like
a nicer way
communicate,
to say it.
yes, than
Yeah,
to lash out in a form of complaint.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's basically what I wanted to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the fact that people are not everyone around you is working as much as you or putting in the work as much as you doesn't mean you should stop. Because you never know who is watching. You never know who is watching. If someone is always watching how all of you work, just to pick out maybe the next manager. And then here's the case where because no one is working, you also want to stop working or you also don't want to put in as much effort. You need to stand out to be
Yeah,
picked, to get opportunities, if you get what I mean. So yeah, basically that is it. And so learn to complain constructively. Give feedbacks. Give feedbacks, not just complain in a form of lashing out. But yeah, and put in the work. Yeah, and I guess that's it.
that's it.
So see you guys in the next video.